Well, disappointing result for the Dragons out in Ulster last week, and fortunately for them, they come home and play Zebre, who were poor against the Ospreys last week. The weather looks good for Rodney Parade Friday night. I fancy Kingsley Jones' men to go away, win by maybe 18 to 20 points. I really do. Well, again, this is a tough fixture traditionally, going to Murrayfield, and Edinburgh lost last week, but the Scarlets lost at home, and Wayne Pivac, the coach, comment a lot about their ill discipline, their errors that they made, and I just fancy with a few boys coming back, the Scarlets will closely get their game going. You know, I think the likes of Liam Williams can spark something, Scott Williams, so Edinburgh are narrow favourites for this one, but I just fancy the Scarlets might pip them up in Scotland. This is one of the games of the week, Munster against the Blues, and both had great wins last week. Now, it's out in Cork. The weather isn't great out in Cork for Friday night. I'll be covering this on TV tonight, so look out for that one. Munster are slight favourites, but I just think the Blues are bringing back internationals galore, and it will suit them. This was a high-scoring game last year, over 50 points in total, and I just think Danny Wilson's men can do it. They're going to have a good season. Well, last year's Champions Connacht really had the wind taken out of their sails last week by Glasgow, getting beat by 40 points in Galway. It's unheard of, obviously. But you know, the Ospreys are very, very good. I think this year it could be their year. They look really good. I worked the game last week. They got strength in depth, and they have the game. Rhys Webb to start, and I think they'll pip Connacht in Galway. There's a mouth-watering game with Leinster now with Stuart Lancaster in their midst in the coaching team against Glasgow. Gregor Townsend to be the new Scotland coach. Great game there at the RDS. Close game, high-scoring game, I fancy. But I also fancy Ulster to take Treviso out in Italy, as well as Treviso played last week. Ulster are a playoff team too. Well, it's not just the Guinness Pro 12, obviously I'm interested in. It's the Aviva Premiership too, and some great games coming up in that competition this week. Firstly, Worcester take on Gloucester. These are two teams I feel could be at the lower end of the Aviva Premiership this week. Watch out, Worcester. You need to win this one. Sale will be too strong for Harlequins, who were poor against Bristol last week at Twickenham, a game that I worked, and Sale should start off with a home win there. For Bath, a great win at Northampton Saints last week, and they should easily win, despite an injury to Toby Faletau, in a 4-try win, I reckon, against Newcastle. One of the games of the week in the Aviva is Leicester Tigers against Wasps. Di Young's men got off to a great start against the Chiefs, but it'll be difficult for them to take on the Tigers at Welford Road. My old club Bristol will face Northampton. This is a game I feel they think they can win now, but Northampton under Dylan Hartley will be smarting from their home loss last week and will pip Bristol at the Ashton Gate. But the game of the week is Exeter Chiefs against Saracens, a repeat of last year's final, and Saracens will be just too strong with the Vunipullers and co. There's my previews for this week. Join me next week, more on Sean Hawley TV.